Stop scrolling. Look at your hands right now. If they feel even a little cold and you're sitting in a warm room, your body just told you something most doctors won't mention until it's a real emergency. Add in dizziness when you stand up, or legs that feel like dead weight by dinner time, and this isn't aging. This is your blood vessels running out of road. And what I'm about to show you could be the thing that turns it around before it becomes a heart attack, a stroke, or a hospital bed. Poor circulation doesn't announce itself overnight. It builds slowly, quietly, years before it ever shows up as a real heart or vascular problem. But the warning signs I just described are often there long before that happens, and most people wave them off as nothing more than getting older. They're not nothing. Today, you're going to discover 7 oils, each one backed by research that may help support healthier arteries, get blood moving more freely, and protect your heart as the years go by. And here's something most doctors never mention. When you pair two very specific oils together in the morning, one of them multiplies the circulation boosting effect of the other, creating a kind of synergy that works faster than either oil manages on its own. Every one of these oils is sitting on a store shelf near you right now. Before we get into it, tell me in the comments where you're tuning in from today. And if you're currently dealing with circulation issues, type A1 below. If you're here purely for prevention, type 0. I read through these and they genuinely shape what I bring you next. Here's the biology behind all of this. Poor circulation typically develops as inflammation slowly accumulates inside the artery walls, making blood flow less and less efficient over time. When oxygen and nutrients stop reaching your brain, your heart, or your legs the way they should, your body responds with fatigue, numbness, cold hands and feet, and that frustrating mental fog that so many people simply accept as normal. The encouraging part is that none of this is fixed in stone. Research shows that certain natural fats, particularly specific cooking oils, can calm that inflammation, support the delicate lining of your blood vessels, and help blood move with far less resistance. This matters because for decades, people were told all fat was the enemy, full stop. A lot of people responded by switching to heavily processed vegetable oils, never realizing those choices could actually make inflammation worse and stiffen the very arteries they were trying to protect. What you eat every single day is quietly shaping your circulation, either helping those blood vessels relax and do their job, or slowly pushing them toward damage. So let's walk through 7 oils that research links to healthier arteries and stronger circulation, along with exactly how to use each one properly. And along the way, we'll also talk honestly about the oils that look completely harmless on the label, but may actually be working against your heart. Let's start at number 7, sesame oil. This one surprises people because it's been quietly used for centuries and yet somehow still gets overlooked today. What sets sesame oil apart is its unique antioxidant makeup. Compounds like sesamin and sesamol, which help shield blood vessels from oxidative stress. These antioxidants support healthier blood pressure and calm the kind of low-level inflammation inside the arterial wall that's often one of the earliest triggers for plaque formation. From a circulation standpoint, sesame oil helps soothe the endothelium, the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels that controls how well arteries relax and contract. Protect that lining and blood flows more smoothly, delivering oxygen more efficiently to your brain, your heart, and your legs. Sesame oil also holds up reasonably well under heat, meaning it can handle light sautéing without breaking down into harmful compounds as quickly as some other oils do. That said, moderation genuinely matters here. It's still a concentrated fat, and using too much can add unnecessary calories and potentially throw off lipid balance in people already struggling with high triglycerides or cholesterol. For most adults focused on circulation health, 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is a sensible ceiling. Used thoughtfully, sesame oil supports vascular health beautifully, but it works best as part of a balanced pattern, not as a heavy daily staple. At number 6, avocado oil. One I recommend often because it fits so naturally into a heart and circulation friendly lifestyle. Avocado oil is rich in omega-9 fatty acids, particularly oleic acid, which has been consistently linked to better cholesterol balance. When oleic acid replaces refined carbohydrates or damaged fats in your diet, LDL cholesterol tends to drop while protective HDL cholesterol holds steady. That shift matters enormously because it directly reduces the conditions that lead to plaque formation and narrowing arteries. Avocado oil also has impressive heat stability, which matters if you want something healthy that's still practical for everyday cooking. It can handle higher temperatures without breaking down into inflammatory byproducts, making it a safer choice for sautéing, roasting, or a light pan sear. That stability protects both the oil itself and your blood vessels from oxidative stress. From a metabolic angle, avocado oil is especially helpful for anyone dealing with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, since steadier blood sugar paired with healthier fats work together to ease vascular inflammation. Drop a comment with the word avocado if you're planning to try this one this week. Number 5 is virgin coconut oil. And this one tends to confuse people because it behaves so differently from most other fats. Virgin coconut oil is rich in medium chain triglycerides, or MCTs, which your liver metabolizes quickly instead of storing easily as body fat, converting them rapidly into usable energy instead. From a circulation standpoint, that matters because excess stored fat and insulin resistance are closely tied to vascular inflammation and plaque buildup. What's genuinely interesting here is how virgin coconut oil affects cholesterol transport. Several studies show that in small, controlled amounts, it can raise HDL cholesterol, the so called good cholesterol that plays a key role in reverse cholesterol transport, carrying excess LDL away from the artery wall and back to the liver for processing. Over time, that supports cleaner, more flexible blood vessels. It's also highly resistant to oxidation when heated, making it less likely than many refined vegetable oils to produce harmful compounds during cooking. But more isn't better here, since it's still high in saturated fat. For most adults focused on heart and circulation health, limiting intake to roughly 1 teaspoon a day is a sensible boundary. At number 4, black garlic oil, a fascinating example of how the right processing can actually amplify a food's health benefits. Black garlic is made by slowly aging fresh garlic under controlled heat and humidity, a process that dramatically boosts its antioxidant capacity. One of the key compounds this creates is S-allylcysteine. From a vascular science standpoint, this compound is genuinely powerful, helping neutralize oxidative stress inside blood vessels, a major driver of arterial damage and plaque formation. What makes black garlic oil especially interesting is that its benefits go beyond antioxidants alone. Research suggests it can help lower LDL cholesterol while gently supporting vasodilation, encouraging blood vessels to relax just enough to improve circulation. For people who already deal with cold hands, cold feet, or heavy legs, that can translate into noticeably better blood flow to the brain and extremities. Because it's so concentrated, black garlic oil works best as a functional addition rather than a primary cooking oil. A small amount stirred into a salad dressing or used almost like a supplement lets you capture its circulation benefits without overloading your diet. Before we get to the last 3, and this is where things get especially interesting, I want to ask you for something. If this is helping you see your kitchen differently, take a second right now and hit subscribe and turn on notifications while you're at it, because I share information exactly like this every single week. And this next stretch covers some of the most important oils on the entire list. It costs nothing, and it means this video reaches more people who genuinely need to hear it. All right, let's keep going. Number 3 is flaxseed oil, and it might be the single most powerful plant-based oil on this list when it comes to vascular health. Flaxseed oil is the richest natural source of alpha-linolenic acid, a form of omega-3 that plays a critical role in calming inflammation throughout the body. Chronic inflammation inside the artery wall is one of the main reasons blood vessels stiffen and lose their ability to regulate blood flow smoothly. From a circulatory science standpoint, the omega-3s in flaxseed oil help protect the endothelium, that thin inner lining controlling both clotting and vessel tone. Keep that lining healthy, and the risk of abnormal clot formation drops, letting blood move more freely with far less resistance, which matters enormously for anyone concerned about stroke risk, leg circulation, or the early stages of atherosclerosis. But flaxseed oil demands a little care. It's extremely heat sensitive, and cooking with it can destroy its beneficial fats and even generate harmful byproducts. Always use it cold, stirred into yogurt, whisked into a salad dressing, or blended into a smoothie, which preserves its anti inflammatory, circulation supporting properties while working it easily into your daily meals. If this is helping circulation make more sense to you, go ahead and tap that like button right now. At number 2, extra virgin olive oil, one of the most thoroughly studied fats in all of cardiovascular science. Large population studies and clinical trials consistently show that people who consume extra virgin olive oil daily carry a significantly lower risk of heart disease, in some studies by as much as 40%. What sets it apart isn't just its fat profile, it's the high concentration of polyphenols, natural compounds that actively reduce inflammation inside blood vessels. Those polyphenols help shield LDL cholesterol from oxidation, a critical step in preventing plaque buildup in the first place, because LDL that stays in a less reactive state is far less likely to stick to the artery wall. Extra virgin olive oil also supports healthier overall lipid balance, helping lower total cholesterol while preserving HDL over time, which keeps arteries more flexible and responsive. It's versatile too, holding up reasonably well for light cooking without losing its protective qualities, though it truly shines used raw, drizzled over vegetables, whisked into a simple lemon dressing, or added at the very end of cooking to preserve its delicate antioxidants. For most adults focused on circulation and heart health, 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is enough to see real benefit, and consistency matters far more than quantity here. And now, number 1, and this isn't a single oil at all, it's a smart pairing, which is exactly where nutrition starts becoming strategic. When chia seed oil is combined with extra virgin olive oil, something genuinely powerful happens inside your blood vessels, because you're bringing together two different complementary mechanisms at once. Chia seed oil delivers a concentrated dose of plant-based omega-3, while olive oil contributes the polyphenols that protect and soften the artery wall. Together, they create a kind of double effect that supports cleaner, more flexible, more responsive blood vessels than either oil manages alone. Biologically, this pairing works on multiple layers of circulation health simultaneously. The omega-3 fatty acids in chia oil calm inflammation inside the vessel wall and help reduce blood viscosity, meaning blood simply flows more easily. At the same time, the polyphenols in olive oil protect endothelial cells and support nitric oxide signaling, which allows arteries to gently widen and narrow as your body actually needs them to. That matters enormously for people over 60, an age where blood vessels often start losing elasticity and peripheral circulation begins its slow decline. What I love about this particular approach is how simple and practical it is. 1 teaspoon of chia seed oil combined with 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil, stirred into warm water with a few drops of lemon, makes for a gentle morning ritual. The warm water aids absorption, while the lemon supports digestion and adds a touch of extra antioxidant support. Clinically, this combination tends to help older adults who notice cold hands or feet, leg fatigue, or early signs of reduced circulation in the extremities. Used consistently, it supports smoother blood flow without putting any extra stress on the system. A reminder that the right pairing can genuinely outperform any single ingredient on its own. Now let's talk about how to actually use these oils correctly, because this is exactly where good intentions tend to go wrong. Even the very best oil on this list can lose its benefits if it's exposed to excessive heat. High temperature frying triggers oxidation, and once an oil oxidizes, it can start fueling inflammation instead of calming it. That means how you use an oil matters just as much as which oil you choose in the first place. Gentle cooking is almost always the better move, and using these oils raw whenever possible tends to deliver the greatest vascular benefit. Antioxidants and delicate fatty acids are highly sensitive to light, heat, and air, which is exactly why storage plays a bigger role in your circulation than most people realize. Keep oils in dark glass bottles, away from direct sunlight and heat sources. Repeated exposure to light and oxygen breaks down their protective compounds and quietly reduces their ability to support your blood vessels. Overuse is another common mistake. These oils are still concentrated sources of fat, and more is never automatically better. For most people, 1 to 2 tablespoons a day, depending on the oil, is enough to support cholesterol balance and circulation without putting unnecessary metabolic stress on your body. Small, consistent daily amounts do far more for endothelial health and steady blood flow than large occasional ones ever will. Now, I want to warn you about the oils quietly working against you, especially past age 50, when the body becomes far less tolerant of chronic inflammation. Highly refined vegetable oils, industrial soybean oil, and mass produced canola oil among them are a real concern. These oils are heavily processed and stripped of their protective compounds, leaving behind fats rich in omega 6s that easily fuel inflammation when consumed in excess, irritating the endothelial lining and making arteries more vulnerable to stiffness and plaque over time. What makes this especially tricky is how common these oils actually are. They show up constantly in packaged foods, restaurant cooking, and even in products marketed as healthy choices. Repeated exposure creates a background level of vascular stress that the body struggles to repair, especially as we age. Reheated cooking oil is another serious issue. Oil used again and again for frying undergoes chemical changes that generate free radicals and toxic byproducts, compounds that directly damage the inner surface of blood vessels, impair nitric oxide signaling, and reduce the ability of arteries to relax properly. And watch out for misleading labels. Terms like light oil or cholesterol free sound reassuring, but they often signal a highly refined, industrially processed oil that's been deodorized, bleached, and chemically altered, stripping out natural antioxidants and leaving behind fats that do little for your heart or circulation. Reading labels is genuinely a form of self-care here. Oils described as cold pressed or unrefined are far more likely to retain their protective polyphenols and stable fatty acids. If there's one thing I want you to walk away with today, it's this. A single spoonful of the right oil can act like daily medicine for your heart, your brain, and your entire circulatory system. But the key is choosing the right oil at the right time and using it in a way that supports your blood vessels instead of quietly working against them. This isn't about trendy superfoods or expensive supplements. It's about the everyday decisions happening in your own kitchen that are quietly shaping your long-term health. Here's what I'd like you to actually do. Pick one oil from today's list that you haven't tried before. Maybe flaxseed oil, maybe black garlic oil, maybe that chia and olive oil combination. Use it consistently for 7 days and pay attention to your body. Do your legs feel lighter when you walk? Is your blood pressure steadier? Are you thinking a little more clearly or sleeping a little more soundly? Those small shifts are real signs that circulation is improving and your arteries are starting to respond. Food really is powerful, especially when it's used with intention. So let your kitchen become part of your medicine cabinet. Swap out what isn't serving you and give your body the support it needs to thrive as you age. Tell me in the comments which oil from today's list is your favorite or which one you're most excited to try. And before you go, hit like, make sure you're subscribed, and share this video with someone over 60 who's been dealing with circulation issues, because your share alone could genuinely change someone's quality of life. Thank you for trusting me with your health today, and I'll see you in the next one. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your physician or another qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your diet, medications, or health routine.